right, you big ugly fucks. It's showtime. Welcome to the Three Body Narrative podcast. We are your hosts, Pradyum, Aaron, and Naeem, and we are here to discuss everything pop culture, movies, TV shows, games. And for today's episode, we're combining the two. We've got a game that's been turned into a movie, and that is Mortal Kombat 2. Now, what is...
With the opening you had, it felt more like a boys opening than it did.
All right, you
Mortal
books.
But I guess there is a connection now between the two. So
Yeah.
fair.
So what is the... I didn't do the head shake of like, all right, like Butch would, but yes. So what is Mortal Kombat 2 all about? Well, it follows Earthrealm's champions as they enter the long-awaited Mortal Kombat tournament, facing brutal warriors from Outworld under the rule of the ruthless Shao Kahn. With Johnny Cage now joining the fight, the team must survive increasingly deadly battles to protect Earthrealm from total domination. Now, I'm going to start with my ratings for this movie. And just before we recorded this, I quickly went through Mortal Kombat 1 to just refresh my memory because that movie, oh my God, I do not remember too much about it at all. And so I had to just refresh it just so that I know where I could place Mortal Kombat 2. And I think I'm going to give Mortal Kombat 2 a 3 out of 5. Now, there are a couple of reasons for it. I think it's a huge improvement from Mortal Kombat 1. And I think that's largely the case of why I maybe increased my rating slightly. And I don't mean like the old 1995 Mortal Kombat. I mean the 2021 one, which, like, my God, when I was watching it, I was like, oh, how and why was that movie made? But yeah, so I think this was a great step up because it had really good battle sequences from my perspective. I really like the battle sequences. I like the brutality of it also at certain points. It actually felt like watching the games. And I did like some of the... Okay, I mean, watching this, I had to kind of put aside that the dialogue wasn't going to be anything philosophical or anything great. Like it was... And I didn't mind it. I mean, you kind of expected this going into this, that the dialogue was going to be sort of be great, like campy, cringe-worthy, and for most part, it kind of was. But I did like I liked Shao Kahn. I liked the battles. I liked the soundtrack. Especially, I think it was Kung Lao versus Liu Kang. I think the mix of the Mortal Kombat theme along with the soundtrack that they had was pretty cool. The story per se, I wasn't a huge fan of. I think it could have been done better. I thought maybe they could have gone with a different angle. Focusing on Kitana, I don't know if it was the best choice, but it was okay. And yeah, I liked Carl Urban as Johnny Cage. So overall, 3, it was not bad. I kind of had fun with it watching it in IMAX. But I didn't even know I was booking IMAX. But yeah, I had fun watching it there. And come to think about it, maybe there are some few plot holes and plot points that we'll discuss later on. So yeah.
I think I'm up next.
Yeah, you're round 2.
I hate doing this, but I'm giving this movie a 2.5, and that's the best I can do with this movie, to be honest. It's a video game movie, so as it is, the expectations aren't really far too high because it is a game movie. And plot, like I never expected the plot to be anything great in terms of the storytelling. Anyway, like that wasn't my expectation from the movie. What I did expect was the fight sequences to really like blow my mind. I guess like I was impressed by Shah Khan. Like I really liked the fight with what's his name, the guy who's a character made for the movies,
Cole, yeah.
Yeah, the fight with him, the way he kind of like smashes his head in, all of that was pretty cool. Um, I think the level of fatality could have been better. Like I don't think there was too much of it. Like I mean, what maybe like three or four. As like I would have expected for it to be far more. And it's not saying too much. Like the first in itself, maybe because of the gap between the OGs and this being brought back was so massive.
Hmm.
Uh, it felt like, especially seeing Sub Zero on screen and some of the sequences in the first, I found that to be a lot more entertaining than what I found in this movie. Some of the awe factors in terms of, again, like obviously, I think I like the face off between Sub Zero and Scorpion in the first as opposed to the second. Although it is not Sub Zero in
Yeah,
this, it's
exactly.
It's not even Bihan. Is it Baihan? Is it Smoke? I don't know who you want to call it. But regardless, like I didn't really enjoy the action aspects of it as much as I had hoped.
Hmm.
But it was all right. Like I, I think Liu Kang was much better in this one than he was in the first one as a character. Like from the action sequences, again, like storytelling is not there. You see very little of that. And I think like even the way the movie flows, it's not the best to be honest. Like I feel it. I know there's like a lot of people that are talking very good about the movie. But me personally, have not had the best of time with this movie. Um, I also, I really had high hopes for Carl Urban's Johnny
Johnny
Cage, but I
Cage.
was fairly disappointed. More so because I thought he would have been the actual comic relief in the movie, but his dialogues were so terrible uh, according to me again. I know I might get shit for this from other people, but it just didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but it didn't fit right for me. Like I felt like it didn't feel natural Johnny Cage, or I was not getting that. I don't know how to define that character, but he's got a lot of sass and all of that, which I didn't think was. See, basically for me, Johnny Cage is technically a jerk, which I don't think was really shining through in this movie, because he does tend to have those tendencies in the way he has those conversations, at least in the games, and even if I recall it right, in the OG movie, if I'm not wrong. So
Yeah.
all in all, like
It's
in terms of action, I get it. Like the budget is lesser than the first one they had for the first movie. I think that was at 95
really.
million or something, and this one was at around 80 or 85 million. Yeah, because the first one didn't really do too
Yeah, I
well.
mean that's
So it's
it's
understandable.
a shit
But the
movie.
good thing is there is a base to build from. So I feel like, especially like I think, generally looking at how the box office is looking for this movie, it looks positive, and it seems that most people coming out of it are actually liking the movie. In
Hmm.
comparison, obviously everyone's comparing it to the first and saying
Yeah.
that it's gone in the right direction. Um, and yeah, it definitely for me in hindsight is better from the first, but still way off from what, again, one critical this thing is, yes, I love that thing between Liu Kang and Kung Lao, the
Yeah.
fight sequence and the music, but I feel the music is still not being used in the way it should be in terms of the fight sequences. I'm not feeling it. I think I felt it without the music as well. Like the one fight sequence that was kind of like had me on edge was the one with Sindel and Sonia.
Oh,
Uh, that because of the spikes coming up
yeah.
was kind of like, okay, I don't know what's gonna happen there, kind of a thing. So that was interesting. But anything other than that, especially fights like with Johnny Cage and Baraka, it just didn't. I don't know. Like I mean, I walked away impressed in this movie with two people more than others, which was one is Kano, because every time Kano was on screen, my God, like I think he was just like really good. He kind of really hits it home with that character. So I'm really happy about like them finding a way to bring back Kano into the frame. And Shao Kahn. I think Shao Kahn, for the limited amount of time he was on the screen, he did command that how do you say this, like his presence was felt. It was kind of unnerving. So yeah, I think those are the two characters that I was kind of really impressed with. But otherwise, the rest of it, oh yeah, there's one scene that I kind of want to talk about, but I'll get to it once, because this is supposed to be just the beginning and I've rambled on for far too long. So yeah, 2.5 out of 5. And I think that's the best I can do for this movie.
Okay. Round 3.
Interesting. I think I will rate this movie a 1. I generally wasn't too thrilled about the movie as a whole. I think in terms of redeeming characters, I guess I'd echo Naeem and say Kano was quite fun. I mean, his comic relief to the movie I felt was much needed. Otherwise, it became quite a cheesy movie with garbage lines. The one "be an actor" still sticks to me. So yeah, that was stupid. Fight sequences, I think they were okay. I don't think it was anything that was wow, which you would think should have been the case for a movie that's called Mortal Kombat. Uh, in terms of fatalities, I'm not so fussed about the fact that there weren't many, but it didn't seem as gory as you would expect, especially from the later games that you play. I mean, with the amount of detail you see in the game and how it has been, I think, except for Shao Kahn's skull being split into three, I don't think there were much else. I think even the pseudos Sub Zero being cut into half, I don't think that was anything great. It felt like someone just cutting a steak and there was no spine, nothing. There was just two pieces of meat that got split into half. So yeah, there was nothing crazy over there. Um, so yeah, I mean, it was okay. I think both of you mentioned story wasn't great, so that wasn't going for the movie either. So yeah, you just kind of stuck onto some of the characters that you did like, and yeah, a little bit of decent fighting scenes. I think Johnny Cage also, though not to shoot on the actor, he is a good actor, but it almost felt like how we used to laugh at Liam Neeson at his age doing those stunts and thinking, is that really gonna happen? This also felt like an old guy just trying to fight, which I guess the movie was intending to, because he is supposed to be a old actor or whatever. But yeah, it just begs the question. Then he was just chosen merely because maybe he would make the right decision in the end as sacrificing himself rather than his ability to fight, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. All right. So that's quite differing ratings here. I mean, okay. I mean, I would have probably been a 2.5. I just gave it 3 because, like I said, I think this was a marked improvement. I mean, that Sub Zero
I,
Scorpion
I was
fight.
gonna give it a 2. Like I was
Yeah.
gonna give it a 2, and then I like had the thing of like giving it a 0.5 because I thought about Liu Kang's character in the first and the second. I thought there was a marked improvement on that front.
Yeah.
I think Kano came a long way as well in terms of the first to the second. And like to me, Shao Kahn's character was a standout in terms of the way. Like again, like I feel like not enough is explored with regards to Shao
Yeah.
Kahn. But I think for the time he was there, especially from a combat sequence perspective,
Yeah.
every time he took a swing with his hammer, I think I felt that thing of like no one's really kind of safe as long as he's got a hold on that hammer.
I mean, as long as he's got a hold of that amulet, right? Because so I agree with you on Shao Kahn. Like that's probably one of the few things that I may see. I mean, I have disagreements with a couple of other things, but with Shao Kahn, I completely agree. I think watching him in the trailer, I was a little apprehensive that they made him a bit too like meeker than what he's supposed to be, right? He's almost god, where he's this ruler of him, like in the games and all, he is massive, he's this like really powerful thing. And I thought in the trailer it just felt like he'd be 6'6" and just well built, right? But I agree with you, like since from the start where he defeats the king of Edenia or whatever, right? Like you do feel like you're coming up against the best fighter in the outworld or in Mortal Kombat ever. But what I also liked was that he did have slight vulnerabilities. Like he did get cut, whether it be from the King of Edenia, whether it be Cole, or whether it be Kitana at the end. Like he did, you could get to him, like which is true even from a game standpoint. It's like he's not immortal, he's not like the all conquering thing. Like you can still get to him, and he does have the vulnerabilities. But with the amulet of Shinnok, yeah, I mean, doesn't matter, because he basically heals himself. And I love that part where I'm glad that they killed off Cole Young. I just thought it was a useless character even in the first one. Like honestly, did not require that character to be created for the movies. And I really did not like him in the first movie. Didn't think he brought anything great, and I'm glad that they killed him off in a pretty brutal fashion of just having his head smashed in. There was a part of me like thinking that he'd be sent to hell and then he'd reunite with his uh, I don't know, great grandfather or whatever. But I'm just glad that they got rid of that character. So but yeah, I think from that angle, I think Shah Khan probably was one of the better characters in the movie. And um, yeah, I probably agree with you there. I mean, with the dialogue, you kind of have to go into this movie expecting it to be pretty bad. Like I don't think there was anything where I was like expecting something profound or anything like that. And maybe they could have
Yeah.
been, but yeah.
See, the thing is, I'm inherently comparing, and you will if you watch the '90s movie. The dialogue is bad in that too, but it's still fun. The problem
But
here
that's
is
because it's so bad. It's good. This is, yeah, I guess so.
this could have been the very same thing, right? It's so bad it's
Ah,
kind of good. Like for me, Johnny Cage dialogues were like, I thought he would have been the saving grace in terms of the lines, the one-liners and stuff like that. It didn't hit for me. Like I don't know about the others, but for me, it was just not work. I was trying really hard because I really like Carl Urban as an actor.
yeah.
I was like really trying hard, and I mean, I like his one-liners and everything he has in The Boys, right? But I just couldn't see him fitting into the Johnny Cage role. Like from the Johnny Cage I know, mainly from like the initial
Yeah.
games, and then obviously
But
the
again, I think
Koji
the
movies.
difference is that the Johnny Cage in the games and in the older movies was a prime Johnny Cage in the midst of being the most popular superstar that there was. I'm guessing, right?
But you also have, I think, is it 10 or 9 or 11? I don't know. 10 or 11 probably, where he's kind of on the older side, right? Like he is, I think he's got a kid or something like that, if I'm not wrong.
I mean, honestly, I played one Mortal Kombat proper full game. I think it was 10 maybe. But yeah, I mean, I probably have to go. I'm not the best judge of how, you know, like the storylines in the Mortal Kombat. I played one and I really liked the storyline in 10, I think. But at the end of the day, it's a more co-op game because you have fun fighting against people, right?
Yeah, again, like, I mean, I won't spend too much time on this, but it's just like, for me, my expectations of the Johnny Cage character that I know, I just didn't see. Like, I thought he would have been able to pull it off, but I think the script was so bad for Johnny Cage. I mean, in general as well, but like for Johnny Cage in specific, that that character didn't land for me, kind of a thing. Again, like I haven't watched the OGs for
I mean, there's
5
only
years.
the one though, because in Annihilation he dies in the first 2 minutes.
He does die in the first 5 minutes or so.
Shah Khan just kills him off in the first 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So I I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the Johnny Cage character. I didn't have an issue per se. It didn't feel like I was. I think they were trying to make it a little more grounded in that he's a washed up actor trying to find redemption in that he like people think that he's useless and he's trying to find worth in himself, which was fine for me. I didn't mind it, but did I think it was appropriate in a plot or in a storyline that was anywhere being very cheesy and campy? No, I didn't. Like, I think if you were doing the entire if the story was a lot more like dense and grounded and everything, fine, then it may have worked. But you can't just have one character having this massive development of being nobody, or finding, being lost and then finding himself when everyone else is just being like stupid, right? um I okay, I guess we talk about the plot, right? And I suppose, like, in the originals the plot was focused on Liu Kang as being the sort of central character and the savior, right? And
Yeah.
the villain being Shang Tsung. Here we kind of focus slightly away from Liu Kang, and the focus, I suppose, is on Kitana as being
Kitana.
like the central character. What are your
Yeah.
thoughts on that?
I'm a Liu Kang fan, so
I knew watching it, I knew you'd say that.
yeah.
Like, watching it, I was like, oh, Naeem's not
Uh,
gonna like this.
also, I have this problem of like, I think it's the same with Game of Thrones. You kind of prophesize for certain characters to be built a certain way, or again, like with this only been the first movie, but
Yeah.
it has
I-
looked like he's kind of been set up to
Hmm.
be like, it always looked like the Kung Lao is that guy who's like, oh, he's the star, he's the Sasuke of this universe, and then you've got you've got Liu Kang, who's the Naruto, and he has to like really work hard and stuff, of sorts, and they're like brothers in whatever shape or form. Uh, but the eventual this thing is, you do kind of foresee, like, I mean, you at the beginning of first itself, I was like, okay, Kung Lao is gonna die. Either he's gonna die in this movie, or he's gonna die at some point in the next 2 movies, if it goes on for that long, right? And to that point, it did feel more central that when Shao Kahn would eventually come into the frame, it would be automatically about Liu Kang's journey in there, and the eventual fight as between the dragon and then the sorcerer eventually becoming the main this thing again. Like that would be the final bit of it, if it was a trilogy or whatever, if it is going to be only a trilogy or whatever. But my problem with it is that immediately the focus, see, the storyline is decent for her in terms of her character growth or whatever you want to call it. It still feels very off in the way how all of that, like, I would think Shao Kahn is smart enough to kind of not be very trusting of her in a lot of ways, but I think she's just got free reign over the years. He's not monitored her whatsoever, even though I think it's kind of clear right from the offset that she's not on board with the whole
Hmm.
Shao Kahn being the leader, sort of like taking over. What's the name of the planet or
Edenia.
universe? Ithania, yeah. So, yeah, I was not too happy about the focus not being on Liu Kang. Again, it's character bias, I think.
Also, is Edenia part of Earthrealm, or is Edenia like a separate world?
It wouldn't be part of Earth realm, no? I thought it was like a realm in itself.
So, I mean, because they all look like humans, so I'm just wondering, like,
Probably multiple realms that have similar
features. Yeah, I guess. I mean, even Outworld look like, they don't look like humans. Jade kind of maybe is the most human-looking person.
Yeah.
Shang Tsung maybe, but he's a sorcerer, so we don't even know what he kind of also looks
What
like.
he actually looks like, yeah.
But Aaron, what did you make
but
of that?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just felt like if the focus was going to be on Kitana, then uh, they had it difficult coming in already because I mean I didn't find the character interesting enough to carry the entire movie. Uh, if you if you are going to put all your eggs in one basket, I don't think that was the character to do it with. Uh, uh, Maybe again if they had a little bit more of a backstory or something to get the viewers invested in her as a character, then it would have made sense. Like you were showing that she had sympathy like for Johnny Cage where she didn't kill him off, but like kind of maybe do something to connect the dots as to why she is more sympathetic, or why she doesn't become this uh, brutal killer or whatever. Like we know that okay, it's because of where she comes from and stuff like that way, but I just felt like the movie would have had more depth if you saw some sort of rebellious nature in her like prior to that, rather than just her not killing Johnny Cage and giving Shao Kahn a glare or whatever and walking away. That was kind of weird.
I
Uh,
completely agree with that opinion in the sense also that like there is no saving grace there. Like around her, there is all negativity in terms of the kind of world she's in. Even her
Huh.
mother has kind of gone
Yeah.
down that route, right? So there is no, she is not experiencing, or at least we're not told that she's experiencing what do you say, mercy and all of that around her whatsoever. Even her friend is technically a jackass in terms of how uh, I mean the only thing is like she she is honorable in the way she fights, but that's it.
Yeah.
Like there's no other saving grace for her other than the fact that she is her friend, kind of a thing, which is kind of already made
But I think
obvious.
also that Jade has also, I think, a similar backstory, because that's what Kitana says, that like when Jade was put as Kitana's bodyguard, I think Kitana also mentions that Jade's gone through something similar. Like she knows what Shao Kahn's done to her people as well. So there is maybe an element of it. But I think, I mean, going into it, when I saw the fact that it was like, first of all, that Shao Kahn wasn't Kitana's daughter. I mean, Shao Kahn wasn't Kitana's father.
I was like, which game is that? In which game is Shao
Yeah.
Kahn Kitana's dad?
Kitana's, yeah. When I saw that Kitana wasn't Shao Kahn's daughter, and that like this is how her story was going to unravel, I was like, this makes it very predictable as to what the ending was going to be like. And while maybe the middle was unpredictable as to which champions are going to survive and which aren't, I think you knew that the end
you
was going to
always knew
be.
who was going to, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm on the same page. See, I don't like Naeem when he mentions stuff like I'm not gonna stop it there. I, I don't like I don't like it when he's like, when it's like Batman and he's like always focused on like, no, Batman has to do everything. But I agree with
Yeah.
him here in the sense that like I think Liu Kang was supposed to be is Earth's mightiest hero and was supposed to be the main focus here. And I didn't like the fact that they sidelined him to be the sort of like Karan Arjun with uh, uh, Kung Lao, right? And have to be like, this is not my battle. My battle is to die and go find a way to find Kung Lao. By the way, Kung Lao, I have no idea why they brought him back just to have that brutal death scene. Like, except for the fact that he cut Raiden's neck, which was fun, which is a cool, like, oh shit, what now? But
That was the scene. Yeah, that scene was like I didn't expect it to happen out of there, kind of a thing. So I really like the way that was done because I was caught off guard on that front. Like it just happened very quickly because I just thought
and quite
he's
early
in here.
on, right? So you're like, what the
Yeah,
fuck
yeah.
now?
Yeah.
Because I thought it was more of a move to unnerve them and stuff like that. That okay, he's on the bad side now, kind of a thing, to screw with their psyche and stuff like that as they go into the fights. But it just completely turned,
Yeah.
and that I think is one of my more memorable moments from this movie, if there were any kind of a thing. So this one is what I would kind of, other than the moments that Shao Kahn was in. So yeah.
No, I agree with that. I think, but again, I have no clue why they brought him. But because of just that scene, maybe they could have done it with someone else. But I just felt like you brought him in, and then the next moment he's fighting Liu Kang, and he gets his entire body sawed off, right? And it just did not work for me at all. I love the fight. I kind of did really like the the environment and that fight sequence. I don't know. See, the thing with, I know a lot of people are talking about, the Mortal Kombat theme wasn't like used a lot, but I didn't mind it, to be honest. I think in that scene they played it perfectly from my take. I really liked the scene there. I really like the background music to that. And I just feel like they can be, and the same thing with the fatalities. Like, it could just be overkill with the kind of fatal. I can understand the brutality of it, right? So that I understand. Like, the games show like the skull being crushed and all of that, and maybe they don't have the budget for that. That probably is the case. But I think the level of brutality or the number of brutalities is fine, because fatalities, not even brutality, the fatalities. Brutality is the worst one, is that there are two of them. There's brutality and fatality, right? Or there's animal. I think the animal thing is like the one where what's the one where they turn it, the animal comes in and kills them in the game.
I have no idea. I don't.
Bestiality? No, that's
No,
not.
it could be. It could be actually. I don't know.
That could just be something really bad.
Now you don't go googling it. Let comments tell us if whatever it is that you are referring to. If anyone is actually watching this.
Yeah, sure. But no, okay. So I think fatality wise, I think I think it wasn't overkill. Like, you can't have every battle ending in a brutal way.
Yeah.
And I think you also, the number of people that died, right? It was Jax. You had Kung Lao, you had Shao Kahn, you had Noob Saibot, and who's the other one who dies?
Liu Kang. You said Liu Kang?
Yeah, Liu Kang, Jax. Oh, and Cole, of course. I mean, the most memorable person, of course. Yeah. So I think I mean, for 5 out of, otherwise the entire movie would just be a lot of fatalities. And
Sindel's death.
Sindel was that was a brutal one as well, to the spike.
Yeah.
So, and I love the way that they got.
I don't know. Okay, like, I agree. Okay, it doesn't have to all be fatalities, but again, like, the speed of the combat in itself is something that I found lacking in terms of the moves. Even if the choreography is really nice, I just feel like if you compare it to the 90s, maybe even I recall the combat being faster there than I do in this.
Yeah.
Whether it is those like the combat with Ed Boon, right? It was Shang Tsung is
no.
What's the Shang Tsung? Ed Boon is the creator. Sorry.
Yeah.
Shang Tsung's character. What's his name in the 90s movie?
You mean the actor?
Yeah, the actor.
Oh, I know who you're talking about,
Anyway,
but I know.
But like, regardless, like, the combat scenes there were far more quicker, and it felt like otherworldly, to say the least. Here, it just felt like if humans were fighting humans, this is the pace they would go at. Even Matrix does combat at a much quicker. Again, that is to do with.
But I guess so. But then in this way, don't you really savor the fights a lot more if it's just not quick enough? Like, I don't know. See, because I liked some of the. I think, was it Shao Kahn against the lot in the throne room area, where they're trying to get the
Shao
amulet?
Kahn is no. Again, I'm looking at it from Liu Kang's level. I feel like the choreography of the fights are good, but the pace at which it was happening for that specific character didn't feel very quick enough for me. For the others, like Shao Kahn and all, again, they are as characters in the game in itself, not the quickest. So
but I like he had that one thing where there's that green light where he fast forwards, basically, right?
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. There was some sort of game elements, but I guess also I didn't know about the budget thing, but I'm sure that will be a huge constriction into how much you can actually be using there, right? And I like. I mean, some of the fight sequence. It's all right. It's not like you said. It's more like watching two regular fighters rather than it being this thing. I didn't mind that, but I can see where you're coming from. Where in terms of like because
Also, tell me this.
yeah,
Okay, okay. Finally, they gave us a combat tournament. Finally, like I
yeah,
mean, they didn't have it in the
yeah.
first one, but they kind of did in this, which is thank you for doing that. But where are the freaking rules of the tournament? Like you have no idea. You literally just pushed into the tournament, and it's like that.
But
Like
that's
you
why
don't know
I
what's
hate the
happening,
first
where
one
it's
even
happening.
more.
Sorry.
That's why I hate the first one even more because it doesn't set up anything for the second one. Like
Yeah, but yeah, even in the second though, there is no time spent on Raiden explaining the rules or where it's happening, what's happening. All it is for you to kind of guess. Okay, this is where it's probably happening in this realm or whatever it is, because maybe because they've been the winners across so many years, they
yeah,
continue to be the hosts of the tournament or whatever it is, kind of a thing is what I can think of. But at some point, it was happening in Athenia as
so
this thing, right?
it's different grounds, right, that they have it in. Like so one is wherever outworld has basically conquered. I'm guessing those are the different places in it, but I agree with you, but that again should have been done as a build up to this. Like the first part should have been building this up. The first part just I watched it and I scanned through it. Oh my god, it's like you just had Shang Tsung trying to break all the rules and have that fight, and then and then they were like, now let's get ready for Mortal Kombat, and like, and then immediately you're just, it feels like there's a gap in between first and the second, because the first also happens in some random temple and second is like on this dragon like temple which has been built by Lord Raiden, the Sky Temple or whatever. So you're like, where has this been built? Where is this from? So there's a huge disconnect, and it's surprising given that it's the same director. Right? You would,
Yeah, but I think that's also might have been that could have been that he need, because of the criticism of the first, he needed to like really pivot in
yeah.
in the second one, which meant like making massive like
Jeez.
yeah, extreme decisions, like critical decisions in terms of how you turn that around quickly. And like I mean, to that point, like considering the general feedback that you're getting, like I kind of like watched some of the people, out of the theater, this
Hmm.
thing, and so people have been talking about this movie as like so much better than what they had expected it to
But
be, kind of a thing.
I kind of do maybe slightly agree in the sense that one had brought down my expectations so bad. Like I
So
had zero
low.
expectations for this. Like I had zero. Like my expectation was basically I'll go and see how bad this could be. But I was surprisingly, like, pleasantly surprised that I could actually sit down, watch it, and have a decent amount of time. Yes, like we're having the podcast, that's why I'm analyzing it a little bit. But if I just go with my, like, keep my brains at home and go watch it, I probably feel like, yeah, okay, maybe this is not too bad. This at least got some redeeming qualities that the first I really did not think had. And no, I'm again, it's not perfect, right? Obviously, there's so many things that we're going to be discussing here, but like I went watching it thinking, fine, this has some elements of Mortal Kombat. Like you mentioned, they had a tournament. They had like
Yeah.
the 4v4, and that all was there. So I was like, okay, that is fine. But one of the other things which I thought they were building up to and then completely went nowhere was when they got the amulet of Shinnok, right?
Hmm.
Shang Tsung was talking about, like, he was obviously enamored by it, and there's like the kind of power that one would
Yeah.
get, right? I was like, oh, there's going to be a betrayal coming soon, because that
At some
eventually
point.
happens in the games at some point, right? Like Shang Tsung
Yeah.
is a very cunning, sly character, and I was like, oh, let's see where this goes. But yeah, that's about it that we get from
Yeah.
Shang Tsung.
But I didn't get it. Like, what was he trying to do with Raiden's character at the end? He was just trying to kill him off. That's
Yeah.
it.
That's
That
the
doesn't fit.
discussion he had with Jade, right? I'll go
So,
to the netherworld or whatever, and you go take care of Raiden or something like that. She says.
And it's funny because in Mortal Kombat 1, Shang Tsung says, next time I won't come with my whatever fighters, I'll bring an army, and this time he just brings himself when he comes to face.
He forgot. The army of souls he's collected. That's what he meant.
Correct.
Last time he met them, he had left the souls behind.
I'm very disappointed in you because I just laid up the perfect he's the one man army. You could have brought out so many Bollywood movies about one man armies and
that
stuff,
way. Okay.
but yeah.
No, this
You
is beneath me.
you already did your Bollywood reference, so now you left it at that.
He's like, that's it for
You know
the
what
episode.
this movie, like, one thing I really like, and I briefly did mention this, Kano, man. Like, when the moment he's brought into life with that missing eye, I was like in splits every time he was on the screen. Every line that he was kind of spewing out, it was like I don't know if the movie was so freaking bad at that point that he just became the most ultimate entertainer in that movie, and that's why I kind of enjoyed his
but even in
role.
the first, he was very.
He was, yeah.
One of the
But I
most
feel like in
entertaining
this,
ones. Yeah.
in this, it was like even a step above the one in
Mm.
in the previous one, right? So I really love the lines they had for him on that front, and obviously the chemistry that even in the bits and pieces where he is with Sonya, I do really like that whole setup, and I think like his arc was one of the more nice ones to watch, from like being an asshole right at the start of the first movie, um, to then kind of being a little more subdued and then eventually betraying them, and then again like realizing how big of a threat this whole situation is, and then again changing back to like basically he wants to make sure there is an earth to steal from after this kind of a
He
thing, right?
wanted his
So
amulet back. Essentially, he's like, just give me back what I stole.
yes, so it's
He
like,
doesn't get it back. What happens to the amulet at the end? It just falls off with, or does like
this guy kicks it, right?
So he kicks it and the power goes away, but the amulet
gets destroyed, right? If it doesn't get destroyed, then
that's what
no,
I thought.
but I thought it's just the power, the green power inside that gets destroyed, but the amulet in itself, does that get lost in hell, or does Kano, because Kano's after the gold of the amulet, right? He doesn't care about the power inside of it.
The power cracked, like it cracks, right? A gem or whatever is in the middle is cracked, and then it kind of like lets the power back in, which is why it then comes back to life. And then it falls into this thing. But okay, I think if someone really wanted, they
you get what I mean, right? Like Kano's likes to steal and he wants his amulet back. I just wondered whether he got it back or was it just lost in hell.
But anyway, they're setting up Shinnok to be part of probably the next movie, because who else is the big bad in this universe?
Yeah, I'm surprised at the lack of Elder God interfere. They usually interfere in a lot of these Mortal Kombat shit.
In the movies, they don't. They're just useless people who like they know they're doing this shit and stuff. They're like, fuck it, let it happen. It's cool. It's entertainment. We need something to entertain us.
They were offended that Johnny Cage said they were wrong, or they made a mistake. So they're like, figure it out yourself.
So talking about Ed Boon, though, he is the cameo that I mentioned that is there. So he's the bartender when Johnny Cage gets swiped off. Yeah. So he was Ed. I first thought he was the old Johnny Cage, but then turns out he was Ed Boon. So makes sense. It would have been nice though to have I wonder where that old Johnny Cage dude is. But
his portrayal of Johnny Cage is a memorable one, though. Quite.
Yeah.
It was quite so bad, so that it's so fun kind of a thing.
Yeah. That entire movie. I mean, like some of those characters were so good, so and I think that's what was memorable about it because apart from that, uh, and Raiden being a white old man in that.
Hmm.
So I think in this, what were the other points of discussion or
Yeah, so it's also this thing, right? Like in terms of what's her name? I keep forgetting.
Kitana, Sonia?
Kitana's this thing in terms of it's been what 20 odd years maybe.
Mm-hmm.
She's been with Shao Kahn, and
Yeah.
during that time she's been doing this thing with Raiden, right? Like she's been his eyes for in the outer world, and she's gone so long being undetected. You'd think that she's a lot more careful going about things as she's grown up. You'd think she was a lot more smarter than she was before as a child, and somehow she was undetected then, and now suddenly is like caught, and like
Jade
maybe
finds out.
Jade finds her kind of a thing. So like that whole sequence was like they needed to kind of move to the next this thing. It didn't feel natural. It didn't feel like yeah she was suspecting her for the longest time and stuff like that. So suddenly it's like so for me that breaks
Or that Shao Kahn knew and was like deliberately just letting her do it and just like
yeah, that would have been still fine, right? Like, okay, because Shao Kahn is that kind of a proud this thing that he's like, oh, like it doesn't matter. Even if
He'll
she,
still win.
yeah, that would have still been a better way to go, kind of a thing, as opposed to this. It's just like, on a lot of occasions, I feel like it's just something is just done to kind of move things along to the
The
next
yeah.
movie
movie.
forward, yeah.
Yeah.
But also tell me one thing. So so this tournament you need to have 10 tournaments and
In a
in order
row.
to
Yeah.
sort of
Take over.
conquer that
Invade.
invade
Conquer,
and
yeah.
yeah, that war. Now who's been Earthrealm's previous champions for the past 9 that have died and lost? Nothing been said, right? This is just the 10th one which is being contested.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know if Kangla was there in the previous one before that as well. I'm not sure. He might have participated, I think. Cause,
Who went and saved his ass then? He must have faced against Kitana.
no,
But
they,
everyone
they
else
don't
would have finished.
necessarily they don't necessarily have to be killed, right? Sometimes people do let go of. Who knows? Maybe he faced Kitana then too.
That's what I was just saying. That's why, like I can't think of anyone else who's
But what is the number of years in which the tournament happens? Is there like a
10 years,
every
10
year
tournaments. Yeah.
every year it comes? I mean, like because then the aging thing is a problem, right? Like who is aging at what age is quite.
Yeah. So again,
How many
I
of
think
those tournaments
these
would
kind
you
of
have
movies,
a?
these kind of movies, you don't think about anything like this. Don't
Don't
Yeah,
think.
yeah,
analyze anything.
yeah,
Just
unless, yeah, yeah,
Just feel. It's like Indian chef. Just feel. No
yeah,
recipe, nothing. Just go and just enjoy, vibe. It's just vibe with the movie.
if you don't like it, make it again and try it a different way. That's it.
Yeah. So let's see now. Next one. If I mean, luckily you're saying that this has got good enough reviews, so maybe he just sticks with this sort of formula. But imagine if this had been criticized. God knows what the third one would have. What the third revamp would have been with a
But you
lower
know what
budget.
I missed though? Like the 90s version of the movie had like a prelims kind of a thing where they're on a
Mm.
beach of sorts and they're fighting off there, which was fun to watch, to be honest. Like there was like a build up, like you first end up on that beach, you have like those preliminary fights, then you kind of go up the ladders in terms of the difficult venues or stuff like that. Even the fight with Sub Zero that I think Liu Kang has, which is like in that staircase where Liu Kang is there, and suddenly they try to kill him out of nowhere because I think
Hmm.
Shang Tsung asks him to do that or
Mm.
whatever. Like those kind of things, the scale of battle in terms of was like fun to watch, kind of a thing. So that's my point. Like the kind of no matter how shitty that whole movie was in terms of plot and all of that stuff, there was so much fun to be had with that movie. When I was watching this movie, all I wanted was to have fun with the movie, like feel like I left entertained, but it was like I didn't feel that kind of
Yeah.
thing. So
It was in that mix of it's being very campy and cringy and being very like bad, but it tried to be grounded, so it tried to like force the groundedness and the like to make it as real as possible, and that took away what could have been. You could have made it really over the top, right? And that would have been
exactly right.
fun.
And again, like I think the movie is self-aware enough to know the kind of audience it's hitting for, and I think even the audience, largely like the people who are going to watch this, know what to expect out of this movie.
Yeah.
Which is why it is doing fairly well from that perspective. Like, but the way to take it a notch above is, I think, completely own up to it and go like full throttle into it.
So either you go like, I think some of the games, at least the Mortal Kombat X, which is Mortal Kombat 10 game that I played, had a really good storyline, like one that was real. And I think some of those storylines in the games are very, very good. So you just would have thought, why don't you just maybe adapt to one of those games or try and
But it is similar to, right? Like, because I do know that at some point he what's his name, Liu Kang and Kung Lao, I think they brought back from the dead, and they're not like, they initially seem everything seems fine with them, but then it turns out they're on the evil side or some shit like that.
But yeah, I mean,
And
that's what. So they're taking elements from it, but the fact is, like you said, there's a huge battle between the type of movie that it wants to be, right? Either you go full route and you really go proper, like you put a plan in place and you stick to that plan and you build it up that way, or you just be over the top, just make it for entertainment purposes, in which case just go all out, spend your entire 80 million budget just on the brutality of the fighting scenes, right? Make it feel like you're actually playing the game and like show a lot more depth to the fighting, but it doesn't do either. And like the other, so I mean, I guess like the lack of Bollywood, no, the lack of Hollywood, the wrong word.
Lack of Bollywood. Some dance in there with music would have sorted things out.
No, I mean, I think the Bollywoodness comes now with Street Fighter, but yes, with the lack of Hollywood acting from Carl Urban's Johnny Cage, I think was brought about by Baraka, which, my God, man, I mean, what was supposed to be one of the most scariest Mortal Kombat fighters, right?
Yeah.
And I love choosing Baraka in like Mortal Kombat because I love his. So initially, when I think Cole goes into this sort of sewage area to fight, I was like, oh, they're gonna bring in either Reptile or Baraka.
In fact, even I thought Baraka is gonna be there, and then suddenly, and the moment Shao Kahn walked in, I'm like, oh yeah, they're doing away with this character, like he's done. Because there was a furor about how useless the character was. Like
he was.
One is there was no need to kind of introduce a new character that is not in the game, because of the sheer presence of the number of characters that are there that have not been in the movies at all to begin with. And secondly, like even if you did bring in a character, what kind of shitty powers did you kind of give him? And like his own, like I mean, I think more than anything else, it's just the power that he has that's kind of like,
yeah, you brought him as the descendant of Scorpion, right?
Exactly.
And like
who's like one of the most sought after characters, kind of a thing. Everyone wants to like. Oh,
and then
Scorpion.
his power is
Get over here.
And his power is you've got to beat him up so that he can beat you up.
Yeah.
Like otherwise he can't. Because if he doesn't get enough energy in his suit or whatever, he doesn't have the power to. And he's got those whatever wooden sticks or knives he's got.
Yeah.
But yeah, talking about Baraka, my God, what a downgrade for a character, man. Like honestly. And the whole thing of, oh, teach me the ways of Johnny Cage and like that whole whatever that he does. I'm like, I mean, at the moment, I was like, okay, hilarious. But like a second later, I was like, oh, what the hell was that? Like, you're Baraka, man.
I think that scene in itself starts off on a very terrible note. Aaron already mentioned that line, and I was like, is this where he gets into his zoom? Because if he's getting into his zone with that dialogue, oh my god, that is so shitty to say the least. Like, there is nothing to it. Like, be an actor. What the fuck is that supposed to mean? Like, I just don't. I didn't get that whole thing. Like, okay. One thing is like towards the end of the movie, I think there are bits and pieces of you see them setting up that chemistry between um
Cajun.
Cage and Sonia.
Sonia, yeah.
So, yeah, I think that towards the end kind of was like okay, but I still feel like the way Johnny is dealing with the people he's fighting, it doesn't feel right in terms of the way he kind of deals with them in the game. Again, like it's supposed to be inspired by it or not
Oh,
the
no. I
exact
mean,
same.
there's absolutely no way that he's fighting like Johnny Cage of the game, right?
No, of course he's an older version, but if you even see the older version of the Johnny Cage in the game, it's quite different. Again,
No,
I get it.
I'm
He's
agreeing
not
with you
fought.
there. It's like I feel like maybe now that his arcana is opened up and he's got his power, maybe now you get.
They're not. There's no mention of Arcana anymore. Like that's done away with.
I mean, I had to. I only brought this up because I just watched the first movie, because otherwise I wouldn't have known what the hell that word was. But given that he's just now found his powers, and man, quite late to find his powers, but maybe the next one will have a lot more resemblance to how Johnny Cage actually moves and fights, right?
Mm.
Because here it's just like I don't have powers, like I'm just running away and doing. Sure.
I think with him, if you get the lines right, Carl is definitely a very good actor, so he can definitely kind of make do with that character really well. I think there's still enough potential in there.
I thought that things were going to do well when I saw you. You remember the movie that he first appears in, the retro movie, which is when he's in the convention, right? I love the
that
part where
fight
he throws
sequence,
the
right?
rocket like that and it goes and hits.
Yeah. So that fight sequence was fun to look at, kind of a thing. It was like funny sorts in terms of what was happening, kind of a thing. So
Yeah, I was like, is he going to be very, very campy, very like, are they going to do so bad, like where the rocket goes under him, but it goes up and hits a helicopter? Are they going to do that way? Like, and I was excited. I was like, oh, they're going to go really entertaining that way, where things are going to be very Hollywood. And it didn't. And I was like, oh, damn. Okay.
that's what, like, I feel like we said this, right? They need to kind of, when they're going down that pathway, they kind of need to really own up to it and go full throttle, as opposed to like be like, oh, think this is cool, but let's limit the coolness because we still need to keep it grounded, kind of a thing. So
any other character or segment that we're probably missing? I mean, Jax, I'm glad, because he's a useless Mortal Kombat fighter.
wow, okay.
I really don't think. I mean, I've never chosen Jax. Whenever I've played the game, I've never ever. My mind has never gone to like, oh, let me get Jax, the guy with the robo arms that you can just break away, and like apart from that, he's just a.
Okay, I have a more like I have something that's to do with a character that's not present in the movie, and that's to do with Goro. Is it because he's chopped up that he can't be brought back to life? Like, what is the thing? And the reason why I ask that is the comrades have fallen and they're going to bring them back, right? So that also includes Cole as a comrade that's fallen. Now, does that mean, does he use this as an opportunity to kind of do away with that character for good, or is it like, okay, just for now, to give the audience what they want, I've given it to them, but eventually he is going to be back to kind of bring
Maybe
it.
he'll come back and I'll be like, I want to be with my family or something. He retires.
Actually, yeah, that would be a good send off for him, no? Like, I don't think I want to do this again, be away from it. Like, did it once, and that's also a sad thing. By the way, like, you just
Being
hear
a
about the
pancake head
family.
wasn't fun.
you just hear about the family and the amount of time you spent with them in the first movie. The second one, you just hear about them, and technically he's died, and they have no clue about what's happened to him.
I don't think anyone knows what's happened, right?
Yeah.
Did Shah Khan even mention that he killed Cole? No, they just don't see him come back to the temple.
Yeah.
Yeah. This fire would have gone off, right?
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
I mean, they know that he's
like they
lost.
wouldn't have known like who
Raiden
he
would know,
fought
right?
or whatever.
Why would Raiden?
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
Is
just
Raiden
being-
already chopped off by then?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he is.
No.
Yeah. He gets
But
cut,
he's
and
still
that's
cut.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
he
he
does
gets
get
cut
cut.
while they go.
Yeah.
While they get
But he's already he's still conscious.
yeah.
Have conversations, right? So I'm guessing he would off-screen communicate. Your comrade has fallen.
Yeah, telepathically, like he's like Cole is dead. It's like great.
I don't know.
Let him go. And he won't even go meet his great grandfather, because I'm sure he'll go to heaven, and while Hanzo is rotting in hell.
He's not rotting. He's
He
growing
was
plants.
chilling, bro.
Yeah, it's chilling.
What are you talking about?
He's pruning flowers and enjoying his life.
I love the fact that
He's
Kano is
chilling
like,
in the Zen garden
if
and
this is
stuff
what
like that.
hell is like, count me in kind of thing. So it's like, yeah.
Yeah, I like the fact that after he eats the peach, he still has to like throw it, like spit it out, because that also starts rotting from inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so even with the noob fight, I think I like the choreography, but there's nothing that was very like got me on my edge and like, oh my god, like what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Which you would think you would raise the stake high for the battle for the amulet, right?
I think the moment Liu Kang was done for me, the movie was like.
This is like Liu Kang
Because the moment
Batman.
he spewed out those lines, I know my journey. This
My
is
journey.
not
This
my
is
battle. Yeah, I was like, oh my god.
And he's like, this is the beginning. I was like, what beginning? We've spent 2 movies on this. What is the beginning?
I mean, if you're doing a series and you're coming back next year, fair enough. You're doing a movie that comes every 3-4 years?
5 years. 2021.
5 years?
You don't even
21. Yeah.
You don't even know if the next one is coming yet. So
I'm sure it's already made up its budget apparently. So I'm sure it'll
This
come
might. And I don't know, man. Was killing Shah Khan the right decision?
But what does it even mean anyway? Like you
you can keep coming back.
People can bring it back. So it's like that. Like Mortal Kombat. And
I mean, that's like any comic book.
Voldemort's sack can bring him back. So it's okay.
Yeah.
Quan Chi. Yeah, that's.
But I'm guessing the big game would be with Shinnok, right? Like
Shinnok has to be the biggest
big
person,
bag.
but the thing is,
eventually then leading to a betrayal from
I
Shang Tsung.
again was like, come on, man. Shang Tsung's like sidelined so much in this. Like he is the most cunning, most interesting villain there.
I see 5 movies in this where probably next one
let's plan this out.
Yeah, probably Shinnok is the next one. The 4th one is a little more vague, but I know at some point Shang Tsung will definitely betray Shinnok and like become that, almighty being or whatever. And then the final battle will definitely be between the dragon god or whatever he is, like the fire dragon god or whatever, which is obviously Liu Kang versus Shang Tsung.
I hope they have it in the same spike pit.
Well, if it is up to the director, it might be cool.
Up to the director. Yeah, I mean, like the story could obviously change. You never know. It could also be Kitana going up against Shang Tsung. Who knows?
Are we missing any major character that we've not seen so far in these 2 movies? From the fighters aspect?
It would have been so much better. Sorry to cut you off, but it would be so much better for Kitana to not have killed Shao Kahn, but instead Shang Tsung to have dealt that final blow and sucked his soul out, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. It's just that you build that whole thing of Shang Tsung liking having this appreciation for the
Amulet in the
amulet and
hand,
like
yeah.
wanting to do it, you'd think
Yeah.
that he would steal it and eventually be the cause for the death of Shao Kahn.
Yeah, okay, I don't mind him not getting the amulet right now, which is fine, because then like first Shinnok comes in and then
Yeah.
probably later it. That is fine. Yeah. My only concern is like that ultimate betrayal would have been fun to watch and more in line with Kitana's character in terms of she still doesn't want to kill her, whatever he is in shape or
Daughter.
form. Like, yeah, he's still her father, spiritually or whatever you want to call it, right? And perhaps she can't get herself to kill someone that way, and that's the difference. This thing like that would be more in line with her character as opposed to kind of chopping him into small bits and pieces. Like
He
his
became a
train.
hibachi chef.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that was I mean, not the best choice in terms of, I mean, there
Yeah.
were way too many choices that
What
were
was a
not
good
best.
choice, Naeem? Tell me.
Bringing back Kano.
Yeah.
That was a very good choice.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I forgot he even died. I thought he just ran away. I forgot he had the sword stuck in his
Sword? No. It
dagger.
was
Another trophy, no?
No, it was that.
What was it?
What is it? A gnome? Or what exactly was it?
Huh?
Is
A
that
garden
thing
gnome.
garden gnome or something that she puts into
Oh,
her?
is it? Oh,
He
okay.
pees on it or something initially, and then later she
Ah.
sticks it back into his eyes or
Oh, it was the
whatever at
hat
the
of the
end.
gnome, was it?
Something like that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I just remember something being stuck in his eye. So I was like,
You said you rewatched the movie.
scanned through it. I did mention I scanned through it. I didn't watch the whole thing. I can't go through that entire movie again. You mad? I just had to like quickly scroll through seeing what happened in that movie just so that I was aware of like what exactly was gonna, how I was going to rate this movie. But yeah, okay. But no, any other characters that we are missing out in terms of this? I think Reptile was one that. Weren't they those two robos that come about? Cyrax or something, the green and the red and yellow
Yeah,
one?
but those were not. I mean, there's enough
They're like-
time
Yeah,
for that.
but there's no
for
major
them.
character.
I feel like if you put more, this movie would have been even more obscure and vague, which I think it. Yeah, I don't think they could have done any more in
No, no.
that time span. And
Also, the thing is like the part where they have those tag team matches and stuff, right?
Hmm.
There's no like fighting together kind of a thing. They're all fighting different people at different points. It's not like at the same, except for
Who had the
Shao,
tag team match?
so it's Shao Kahn and what's the name?
Huh?
Shao Kahn and Princess Kitana. Okay,
Okay.
they're from Outworld.
Yeah.
And then you got Liu Kang and.
Well,
Liu
I mean,
Kang
Liu
and
Kang and Sonya, but I mean, Kitana was chained, wasn't she?
she chained up, right?
Yeah. But like, I mean, those kind of moments, if they had like from this thing before, like instead of taking, I don't know, like I think I don't remember which one it is, but for sure there is in the 90s only 90s version of the movie where they're kind of having a tag team moment of sorts, and they're like fighting together against few of the, like a couple of the opponents, or like switching between the two or some stuff like that kind of a thing. So something like that might have also like been fun to kind of see at some point, I suppose.
Yeah, I think that would come when, I mean, I don't see Sonya and Liu Kang being any great tag team. I think if it was Kung Lao and Liu Kang, maybe there's a lot more like you could have a choreography where it's a lot more give and take.
Johnny Cage and Liu Kang would be a fun matchup as this team as well to see.
Sonya was just like no way, like had zero chance against Shao Kahn. You throw Sonya at her or do something like that, you just beat the shit out of her and gone. Like she barely scraped past even Sindel in that fight.
She did hold her own fairly.
Okay. Also, the fact that Sindel wasn't even a trained fighter. the queen who was turned into a mummy,
Mm.
a zombie, right? Zombie
Yeah,
queen.
yeah. Zombie Queen, yeah.
Yeah, so
But she probably
the-
would have fought in other tournaments as well, right? In the lead up, I'm guessing the remaining 9.
Yeah,
While
we don't
this
know
one
the
wouldn't have
timelines of those.
known.
How many of those have happened after Athenia? We are not quite sure. Which one
Athenia.
was
Who's
Athenia or
Athenia?
whatever it is, man.
But
I
she
don't
also
really.
did kill some of Shao Kahn's henchmen when the king was killed, right? Or
Hmm.
whatever.
Oh yeah,
So she
yeah,
so
right. At the
she does have some fighting prowess.
capabilities, yes. Please don't
True.
Yeah.
question Sindel.
Actually, yeah. Yeah, actually, I mean, that fight was nice. I like the enclosed space, and the spikes added a lot more. But I didn't
Yeah,
see.
Yeah,
that part
intrigue to
was
it.
fun. That part definitely was fun because then the game elements were definitely there in terms of the spikes coming up and stuff like that. And again, I just felt like in that moment, you kind of really like I didn't know if Sonya would survive that or not. I mean, technically, yeah, you
Kind
would
of did, yeah.
kill her off, but then like it
Because
just felt
otherwise, you
like
can't have Cole and um, like Sonia both go off so quickly. I think that would have been
yeah.
too bad. I think Cole was the biggest.
Plus Sonya so quickly, I don't think it makes sense in the this thing. The role I would expect her to play in the Johnny Cage storyline, it doesn't make sense. It makes sense after that whole thing happens that either Johnny loses Sonya or Sonya loses Johnny. Either way, right? That's when it kind of works better, I suppose.
Now, I
So
guess at the
maybe
end, there won't be anybody
part 5.
losing anyone
We'll see. If we get to part 5, we'll know.
in part 5. Okay.
Part 5, yeah.
This is anyway. The reason I asked was if there was any major character in the sense not to add to what was there, but to replace one of them was somebody. Do you think any other character would have been a better fit maybe for this movie? Or I can't think of anyone else any major character that would have maybe.
I would like
Yeah.
Noob to be. Noob is the one that wears the full black.
But that's
thing,
what we
right?
got, right? Isn't Bihan Noob now?
I thought Bihan was the smoke version of.
I don't understand what the Noob and Smoke version. They all look pretty much
Same, yeah.
the same.
True.
But I think he's Noob in the. I don't think Smoke can get another person, replicate another, clone another person, right? I don't think.
And is that what Noob does really?
I thought that's what it is.
Okay, cool.
Noob
Probably.
Saibot.
Noob Saibot, yeah.
Yeah. So I think yeah. So Noob is formerly Sub-Zero. That's what I'm seeing here. Smoke is more like I don't know. He's just an assassin, right? He's not got. I mean, Noob is the recreation of a dead Sub-Zero.
Okay.
So yeah. Even I thought initially it was Smoke, but then when he started doing those tricks and he had that purple character, that purple suit or so, then I'm like, that's Noob Saibot. Yeah. So I think overall, and this obviously now sets up the whole thing of them going to find their comrade and bring them home, right? So which realm
So
do they
one
go
more
to?
movie without a tournament.
Yeah, I mean now Mortal Kombat is essentially gone, right? It's done, right? Now what would they be like? The whole point of Mortal Kombat wasn't it to conquer different worlds and to stop that, or is it just any tournament is called Mortal Kombat there?
No, I think it's to do with the Elder Gods, right? It's a form of entertainment for them, is it not? I thought that's the whole thing. It is like if at all any world wants to conquer any other world,
Yeah,
this is the shape or form in which they can do it,
correct.
where it feels fair.
But exactly. So what I'm saying is, with Shao Kahn dead now, the Elder Gods are the only ones who are going to conquer, or what is it? Because
But like I mean, there would be rulers in terms of okay, maybe Shao Kahn is just one of the thing, right? Realms. There will be other realms as well.
I mean, but has the game ever? I don't know. That's why I don't know if there's been any other
Even I don't.
alternate. Yeah, so exactly. So for me right now, when Shao Kahn dies, it's like that's it from a world that is looking to conquer, and that's it from Mortal Kombat. And now you're just going to try and save your comrade. I'm guessing now you go to the realm of the gods, I'm supposed, right? Where do you think Liu Kang, Kung Lao have all ended up?
Not the nether realm, right? They'll
No.
definitely be in the godly realm, I suppose, wherever that is.
Are they even gods? Like it's a weird
No.
setup, honestly. Like I don't know where this leads to and how they're going to, uh, go about.
The heavenly realm. It's like one below
Yeah.
where the god kind of a thing. So it's like
Maybe they'll go and resurrect Kitana's father again. That's one of the fallen comrades. But
way too many.
too many
Lost.
resurrections, right?
Yeah. The first they'll bring back is Cole. For sure. But again, I wonder.
Did he
I
have to
wonder
die
if
because he had to do Cobra Kai?
I think that would have been before this, right? They would have wrapped that up before.
Yeah,
this.
maybe.
Regardless, what I want to know is, would they even be able to bring him back because his head was smashed in, and I wonder if that's one of the reasons why even Goro couldn't be brought back, because his head was chopped into pieces or whatever, or at least I think it was
But
chopped.
I think these guys just thought they could win without him, right? I mean, I don't think they.
Why do you want
Technically,
Goro
they
back?
wouldn't have needed him.
Why do I want Goro back? I don't know. I find Goro to be a fun character to kind of have him at tournaments and stuff like that. Plus, he never got a tournament, so it's not fair, Prince Goro deserves a tournament.
Isn't there a lady version of Goro that is there in Mortal Kombat?
Oh yeah.
Shiva.
Yes, I think that's what her name was. Yeah.
By the way, it's hilarious that when watching
Shiba, I think it is, right?
No.
Are you
We
sure?
know Shiva. No, it's I'm pretty sure it's SH. Shiva. It's not Shiba. It's Shiva. Like so SHEEVA instead of. So it's still V. But it's hilarious that I watched the movie and there's a whole load of profanity by him showing the middle finger, saying fuck, all of that. But they always muted the word bitch. So that's the censor board for you.
Bro.
That's the censor board for
We
you.
love our doggies.
Was that the case here too?
No.
No, right?
Yeah. So I guess that's about it from in terms of discussing about Mortal Kombat 2. We will see where this leads to and which realm now faces extinction and
What was his
saving.
stance? Johnny Cage had a
What?
stance, right? Johnny Cage had a stance, right?
No, wasn't that something like that? Yeah. I definitely this was, or yeah, one was a close fist, I think, but yeah, that was Liu Kang. But yeah, I guess thank you for tuning into this episode of Mortal Kombat. Do let us know what your thoughts were on the sequel movie. Was it worth the 5-year wait? Was it everything that you had hoped Mortal Kombat would deliver? And if so, great. If not, do let us know what opportunities they missed out on. And we will catch you all on our next episode. Don't forget to hit the like button, share with friends and family, follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and catch us for more such content we'll be putting out throughout the week. Until then, see you.